Well, here we are below in Ocean Planet. Since we're in the boatyard and we're working on it, a lot of my home isn't in place right now. The stove isn't here. This is where the stove goes. My sink, we have the plumbing in the system is all gone that runs our ballast. In order to prepare for the Vendee Globe, which is non-stop around the world, we're replacing everything, going through all the wiring, all the hoses, all the pumps. Even if they were working fine, we have to inspect them and make sure that they're going to be all right. So there's a lot of work down below in the systems as well as structural modifications that we're doing. To show you what, this is my navigation station. Usually I actually have a swiveling race car chair. It actually goes in a race car that goes here and swivels, allows me to sit and monitor my laptop computers, which I keep here, and the radar and instrumentation, which allows me to monitor not just the boat's speed, but its position, its heading, and the wind direction, and any changes in wind I would see, and then would go outside to readjust the sails. But we can watch everything from down here. As part of the weight saving and diet plan, even in the nav station, there's a number of modifications to make. I'm changing my computer system. Before I had these big waterproof screens in here that I thought would be a good idea, but it turns out I'm able to keep it pretty dry and safe here, and I wound up using the laptops almost all the time anyway. So by removing the computer screens and this other separate boat computer I had and going straight to my laptops, I'm saving 37 pounds of computer stuff. So it's another one of those things that adds up to my goal this winter of getting out 500 pounds total of weight to make the boat easier driven and a little bit faster, especially downwind. Well, let's have a look at some of my construction modifications to show you how we're getting the weight out of the boat while still keeping it strong to make it a little bit faster. This is one of our watertight bulkhead doors. The boat is, by the safety rules for these boats are very, very strict, and the boat's divided into 7 separate watertight compartments. And these doors all close and lock up to seal off this section if I got a hole punched in the boat to keep the water. Also, it makes it much easier to heat the back cabin where I'm actually living, because it's very, very cold in the Southern Ocean, and we just want to heat a small area and not waste too much fuel. This area I call the sail locker, where obviously I store the sails, and this is where the bathroom or the restroom, as it were. I keep our toilet, which isn't here right now. We have a carbon fiber toilet that sits on this mounting bracket over here. Our mast, when it's in the boat, sort of dominates this room. Our unstayed rotating carbon fiber mast comes through the deck here and sits in a special bearing. Down here, up here is a bearing that allows the mast to rotate. It's like a big fishing pole that can turn, which allows us to make it more aerodynamic while we're sailing. And then down here at the base, the mast sits in a special bearing in this place too. This has to be very strong, since these 2 points hold the whole mast up with no shrouds or standing rigging. These 2 points hold it, just like much like a fishing pole stuck in a slot in a fishing boat. Our weight saving, our diet plan. You can see part of our diet plan underway right here, where we've taken out solid wood knees and some extra glass. We decided we could make this lighter. We changed to a carbon fiber on a foam. There's a foam core knee in here with the carbon fiber vacuum bagged on top. We still need to do the finish work, but the structural part is done. Next part is just to clean this up and recoat this with epoxy. Coming up here when you're at sea is a whole different experience. You'll literally be thrown from the roof to the floor, roof to floor, roof to floor. You have to hold your hand up like this, because the bow dives down for wham, and then it lands, and you have to do several G-forces. When you're going fast through the seaway, this is a very exciting place to be.